Hi, in this video we're going to go through some of the health risks associated with prolonged sitting. And we're also going to discuss some of the prevention strategies that you can use today to help offset these risks. Hi, Dr. Jasper here from MuscleWizard.net. Now, did you know that sitting is the new smoking? A lot of health professionals have even labeled it sitting disease. What they found out was that anybody who sits for long periods of time, now the average American sits about 7 to 8 hours a day, either commuting, sitting at work, or sitting at home watching TV. Now, what ends up happening is that the bad news, you could go to the gym for an hour a day and it's still not going to change the bad side effects you're going to get, the health risks that are associated with sitting for long periods of time. Now, the great thing is, new research studies have found out that if you sit for about 50 minutes to an hour, but you take about a 5-minute break just walking casually, it offsets those health risks. So one of the things I always recommend to my patients is taking that frequent breaks every hour. Now, how are you going to do that? A lot of my patients tell me they don't have time, or it's very difficult to develop a habit where you're taking these frequent breaks. So one of the easiest ways to do it is to do something that you're kind of used to doing anyways. So I tell a lot of my patients, every 50 minutes to an hour, just go to the washroom. Now, you may not need to go to the washroom, but the simple act of just going, getting up, and walking to the washroom is something that you're doing anyways, and it's a habit that you can kind of develop a lot faster. Now, once you start developing that habit of being able to take that frequent break, instead of going to the washroom, start developing walking meetings. And you can go over to some colleagues, and you guys can all go for a walk for about 5 to 10 minutes and then sit back down. Now, a lot of my patients always say to me, I don't have any time to do that. I need to be productive at work. Well, guess what? Studies have shown that the most productive people in a company, and believe it or not, they got it down to the last minute, is that they work for about 53 minutes and they take about a 17-minute break. So not only is getting up and taking a break going to be beneficial to your health, but it's also great for your productivity. Now, after the walking meetings, you can also use what we call standing desks. You can alternate between sitting and standing. Now, the thing is, standing desks are sometimes very expensive, but nowadays the cost of a lot of these things are coming down. So definitely look at it, research it, and you should be able to find something that's going to be beneficial to you. When I first started using a standing desk, I just used a recyclable box. And I started with that. So don't let the excuse that you have to go out and buy something be an excuse to prevent you from starting. Just use something that's around you and start off standing. Sit for about 30 minutes, stand for 30 minutes, or you can sit for an hour, stand for 30 minutes, or stand for an hour. Alternate, but never sit longer than 1 hour. Now, also what we find out is that if you have trigger points and muscle knots, what else can you do while you're sitting? Now, one of the things we always do is if you got pain in your hands or your forearms, we always recommend something like a lacrosse ball or a trigger point ball. Now, with this ball, I can roll it right into my hands. I can also put it right onto my forearms and really dig into some of those trigger points. We can also use a Muscle Wizard. Now, with the Muscle Wizard, you can use it around your neck and you can put the other end around your knee, and all of a sudden, it's a hands-free way of hitting those trigger knots. Also, you can put it onto the low back, and again, it's hands-free. You'll be hitting your trigger points or your muscle knots in your low back while you continue to do the work. So in summary, sitting is not something you need to be doing for long periods of time, especially for anything over 1 hour at a time. Take those 5-minute, 10-minute breaks. It's going to help you with your productivity. It's going to definitely help you with your work and energy levels. Also, when you're sitting, you can use a golf ball, a trigger point ball, tennis ball, lacrosse ball. You can use a Muscle Wizard to really dig in some of those muscle knots to be able to offset some of those pains. Thanks, and we'll see you guys in the next video. For now, if you want to learn more about how to treat some of your own trigger points, go to MuscleWizard.net, or you can subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch some more videos on how to cure some of your trigger point pain.